Hello everyone, Jennifer Maker here. Today I'm joined again by Greg, Mr. Maker, and together we're going to unbox, set up, and play test the XTool S1 enclosed diode laser cutter. This is the flagship diode laser cutter in the XTool line of laser cutters. We also have the D1 and the M1, and you can see those setup and playtest videos on our YouTube channel. Now, for anyone who's new to the idea of a laser cutter and engraver, these machines use a thin, focused laser beam to burn away material, which makes it cut and engrave thicker things than you could do with a blade cutting machine, like, a Cricut Explorer Maker, right? So you can cut and engrave a wide variety of both thick and thin materials using these tools, right?
The XTool S1 is a powerful diode laser. Its laser has a 20 watt output, which is twice as strong as the M1. We reviewed the M1 we reviewed a few days ago.
That one had 10 watts. Yep.
10? Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, so this is twice as strong as the M1.
Yeah, and 4 times as strong as the D1.
Yeah.
We reviewed last.
That one had 5 watts.
5 watts.
Right.
Okay.
So we are going up from D1 to M1 to S1.
A laser this strong is capable of cutting a 10 millimeter thick wood panel, probably in one pass, which is just under ½ an inch thick.
So that's pretty thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, compare that to the 5 watt D1, which could only do a 3 millimeter thick wood panel. That's like under 1/4 of an inch, quite a bit, right?
Right, in one pass, right?
In one pass, right? Yeah, maybe with extra passes you could do more, right? Now, a 40 watt laser like this one also comes in a 40 watt, right? A 40 watt laser can cut through wood up to 15 millimeters thick in one pass. It might be able to go thicker in multiple passes. The time we're making this video, the XTool S1 is available in 20 watt and 40 watt models. We paid just under $1,700 for this 20 watt diode laser cutter, which was on sale from the retail price of $2,000. You can see the exact one that we got over at jennifermaker.com/XTool S1. I'm putting that link up at the bottom of the screen, right? Now the 40 watt version the 40 watt version's retail price is $2,500, but it often goes on sale too. I think it's on sale right now, but depending on when you see this video, it may not be, but I think it is right now. The 40 watt is not currently available on Amazon, but you can get it directly from the manufacturer at jennifermaker.com/XTool. So shorter link, but just XTool. And that is our affiliate link too, so you know. Yeah, so we're gonna do this. We are gonna unbox this XTool S1 laser live and in real time so you can truly see what the experience is to set it up. So it's not going to be one of those nice short polished videos that glosses over issues and makes it all seem super easy. Our goal is to show you what it's like to really set up an enclosed powerful diode laser cutter like this and get it operating. And it's important to note that while we've been using laser cutters for years, how long? Like 4 or 5 years at this point?
I'd say it's about 5 years.
Yeah. We've never set up the XTool S1, but we have set up the D1 and the M1. So we're not complete novices. We're a little ahead of what a completely new person would do, right? So we are going to set this up with you, and just keep in mind that there could be this is very authentic. There could be mishaps. There usually are, because this is normal, right? When you see a setup video on YouTube and it's just perfect from start to finish, that is very rarely the way that it works. There's almost always some little thing. Although I will say this morning we're like, I'm hoping that we don't have any hiccups, but there probably will be. But let's hope it's a little one.
It seems like it's been getting better as we go on.
It has. So because, the more we set these up, the more experience we get. But the thing is that a new user like you will not have set up the XTool before, right? So we've done the XTool and the M1. So we are a little ahead of a completely new user. So just keep that in mind. All right. So let's switch the camera over to the overhead, and you can start on opening up and we can see what's inside. Okay. Packing has been really good so far.
Like,
wow, this one's got straps on it. Oh my gosh. what's inside the honeycomb tray. So this is the honeycomb tray that goes inside the laser cutter. Lifts everything up, good air circulation. So
Ooh, it's kind of sharp on the...
it is. I'm gonna just set this over here. The M1 came with prisms instead of a
I feel like
honeycomb
this
tray.
was the right way to do it.
Whoa, look at this. It's really big. Oh my goodness. It's huge actually. And this is the base model of the S1. All right, well, I think you have to lift that up.
All right, so I'm going to lift this up.
And
then
I'll
you'll
take the box away. Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to pull off the plastic.
Okay. Okay.
Look at this big thing. So let's say we are 22 inches
by
30.
30. So
22 by 30. That's not so bad.
yeah. So this is pretty big.
It's
But,
certainly getting close to Glowforge size.
Yes, but
Glowforge
still,
Pro size. Or
still not as big as the
basic.
Glowforge Pro, for sure.
Yeah.
The Glowforge Pro is still larger. The Glowforge Pro is also a CO2 laser cutter. This XTool S1 is a diode laser cutter. Okay, so this is the flagship diode laser cutter engraver from XTool. It cuts wood, paper, leather, and dark acrylic. Or, you know, it doesn't cut clear acrylic. No diode lasers do cut clear acrylic. It can also engrave all of those same things, as well as engrave metal and rock like slate. It's got a green.
Yeah, it's actually very interesting. Every one of these XTools we've done has like
had a different,
completely different color. That we did one that was red with,
and then
what was the other one? It was
amber.
Kind of amber. There was one of them was just kind of smoky, wasn't it?
Yeah. All right. So it should be noted that unlike the M1, which we reviewed just a couple days ago, you cannot cut vinyl on the S1. The M1 had a blade cutter as well as a laser cutter. The S1 does not have that. So you would not want to cut any like regular vinyl or other polyvinyl chloride materials, including faux leather, on a diode or CO2 laser cutter because it will release chlorine gas and hurt your machine. Other things that you want to avoid cutting on a laser cutter are fiberglass, polypropylene foam, polystyrene, ABS, and polycarbonate. Did I miss any? I might have missed some. That sound about right to you?
It sounds about right, but you should always consult your manual.
Oh,
like
yes,
the
always.
lasers really, they vary widely in what they can do. So.
Yes. Medi says, where do you store all the machines you own? We have a studio here that we're in right now. It's about 5,000 square feet. There is a storage area where we keep them. We have a workshop here. Some of them are also at our house which is like a mile or two down the road. Okay, you want to show that one?
Oh yeah, just for size comparison here, from the top down maybe.
So they're about the same height.
They're about the same height.
Right.
It's 8 inches wider.
It's
In
wider.
fact, if you look here, look at all this extra real estate. That's 8 inches of extra length, and then a little bit deeper there.
Right. So this is quite a bit. This is quite a bit larger footprint. Is what I call it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for bringing that out to show us. Okay. So what do we got?
Well, XTool envelope here. I'm guessing, like the other XTool machines, this is an awesome materials pack. Yeah, it is. So these are absolutely stunning. I love how much bang for your buck you're getting. Here, you can open that.
Okay.
There's like a button in there.
That's a tag.
No,
It's
I think I saw like a, oh no, maybe it is.
I'll unbox it and then we'll see.
All right, you unbox it. Was it the M1? Which one had like the cork pad?
I don't remember anymore. But this can cut cork too. All right, so what we have in here is we have some aluminum tags right here. And we have some what I think are glass, but I guess they could be like a really thick plastic. They feel like glass when we were looking at them before, but they might be acrylic, right?
Yeah, they feel more like glass to me.
Yeah. A piece of rock, slate, right? So that you can engrave this. You can't cut this, but you can engrave it.
Oh, it's cool too. It's actually like a ready coaster. It's got feet on it and everything.
That is cool.
Yeah.
This thing which I don't know what it is. This was in one of our other ones, and we didn't know what it was either. Greg, you open that up.
It just seems like vinyl, you know?
Yeah, but you're not supposed to do vinyl. Maybe they have a special vinyl that you can cut. Glowforge has a special vinyl, so it's possible that they do.
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say. So we have a mystery item in there. Does anybody know? Here is some, well, this is interesting. This is faux leather. So this must be a non-polycarbonate faux leather, I guess, or non-polyvinyl chloride faux leather, which is possible, certainly. A piece of probably basswood, some kind of plywood, perhaps. It looks like it's a plywood, but looks to me like probably basswood. And then
that looks like an acrylic.
Yes, this is a acrylic, and it's probably black. Does that look like black? It does look like black. Okay, so a piece of black acrylic.
So it's got a protective film on the two sides.
Yep.
Like most acrylic that you buy.
All right, what else we got in here?
All right, so this is probably our instructions. Now that is a nice thick booklet. That's a magazine.
So the user manual here, a thank you, which has been in every single box that we have unboxed, a thank you. And safety first. Let's see, there's a table of contents here. So safety, the list of items, meet your XTool S1, using your XTool S1, and then special things about using the air assist set, the riser base, the honeycomb panel, the rotary attachment, and and how to get service and then frequently asked questions. So as one would expect from something that costs this much, right? We would really expect that. So that's what it looks like on the inside. So we'll use this to set it up today. So of course, always read your safety requirements. I'll set them up here. And it's probably going to be pretty much the same as before, checking the machine for damage, ensuring your clean space is clean and flat, which ours is. Do not disassemble the machine. Also, can I note that this came what looks like mostly fully assembled. There's probably a few things for us to do, but unlike the D1 that we had to assemble ourselves, this is assembled for us. That's important. Don't leave your device unattended. Keep the inside of your machine clean. And the machine works properly at a temperature of 0 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius. And it can be stored at a wider range than that, but it works at a pretty good range. All right, so.
And that's a formidable sized instruction book, but it's mostly different languages telling you the same thing.
Yeah, so you can see there's lots of different languages.
I don't think it's going to be hard to set up.
No. All right, so the list of items, so this is what we have in ours. We have the XTool S1. This is the laser module. A distance sensor, a key, screwdriver, so I guess we do have to do a little assembly. Some screws, USB cable, a part storage box, the smoke exhaust pipe, power cable and adapter, material pack, which we already saw, a brochure, and a user manual, which is what we're looking at right now. So it tells us this is the extra things that you could have. So there is the honeycomb tray, which we do have, and what looks like
are they little riser feet?
Little riser feet for it, maybe. This is the rotary attachment tool, which we don't have, but you can get separate or as a bundle. This is the riser base so that you can put thicker things inside of it. This is the air assist, which we do have on this one. I think we do. Do you see it?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, we have the air assist and then the air assist components. All right, so meet your XTool. All right, so this is naming all of the parts of our new XTool, and this is using it. So this is what we'll follow to put our XTool together with you. All right, and this is the brochure.
Yep, this is like a material guide and I guess a little inspiration booklet. Unleash your creativity with quality materials. They talk about their story.
all the
Their
plywood projects.
materials. Nice showcase of their plywood. It seems like they have some
And
nice
you can
ones.
buy materials from XTool, or you can use like generic materials, right? Which is true for pretty much all of the laser cutters.
Their acrylics. There. They're more acrylics. They have some glittery acrylics, which is kind of interesting. I haven't personally used any of that stuff. Vinyls. I'm assuming for use with the M1, right?
That's a great question.
Applicable to
Oh,
the
yes.
XTool M1.
Yes, it specifically says it's for M1 right there. I don't know if they can see that. Kind of low.
I don't know.
Here, let's put this down and then you can hold it up a little higher. So they have their own line of vinyls that you can use with the M1.
Applicable to the XTool M1. There you go.
Right. So you don't want to cut.
Oh, I guess we can.
Yeah, don't cut. Don't try to use a laser cutter to cut vinyl. Okay.
The jewelry series here. Showing.
Oh, Sandra Scott says the pass-through slot is not on the basic package. It's on an upgraded package or added later as an accessory. Okay, so it doesn't come with the pass-through slot as in the basic one, but you could add it later. That's good to know. Thank you.
So these are some jewelry blanks. Let's see. There's some electroplated tags. Cool. Some like stainless steel rings, things like that. That's really neat, actually. Stainless steel ring, like an engraved ring.
Yeah, because
with the rotary tool.
Yeah, because cool. I read, but I don't know, but I read that the XTool S1 does some auto focusing on three-dimensional items, so that you can do things like that easier.
We talk about metal mouse pads, watch bands, keychains, coasters, cutting boards.
I really like this because it gives you an overview of the wide range of things that you could do, right, with something like this. Because a lot of times we just don't know, and we're just like, oh, we can cut wood, right? But there's really so much more that you can do.
Well, now there's your beautiful display of the range offered by
all of the XTools there. Yeah, so we have all of those, except we don't have, this is their P2, which is a CO2 laser, which we did not buy. And this is the F1, which is just a laser engraver, which I'm all about cutting things out, so I didn't want that. So just so you know.
I'd love to play around with it at some point. Like most of them are like flat bed kind of thing. But there's a range of...
It's like a portable laser engraver,
yeah,
so you can like put it on something, like your laptop.
Who is it? The laser pecker and the F1, those
right.
are... They kind of have this vertical profile, like you set it down on top of the piece, so I'm interested in that. And join their community. Always a good idea to join communities.
All right, cool. So that's the brochure, so cool.
The brochure. All right. Let's see if we can find some of these other parts here. Okay, so this is...
the exhaust hose.
A very nice exhaust hose.
Is it nicer than the M1s?
I mean, as far as hoses go, I don't... So this is, the other one was just like a flexible, yeah, I know, it's funny. The other one was just a flexible tool, but these are kind of cool because you can kind of expand them and set them to the shapes you want and they'll hold it. I like that. I know I'm
Are you geeking
excited
out?
I'm geeking out about a flexible hose, but this is where I'm at in life right now, I guess.
Yes, this is the smoke exhaust pipe. That's the correct term for it.
Pipe. Very important.
What's that?
Things rattling around.
I think that's the part storage box.
I bet you are right. We got one of these with the other laser too, right?
Yes, we did. All right, so nice little container of parts. And inside we've got our screwdriver and all the little parts that we need, which isn't really all that much. I see like maybe 8 screws in there, so the card and stuff like that. So not bad.
There's some interesting pieces in here. I'm not sure what these are.
I don't know either. Guess we're going to find out.
And speaking of things we don't know what they're for, look at this.
Put that right there.
It's like a kind of a felty square. I'm not sure.
Does anyone know what this is?
Actually, there's 2 of them. Could it be part of a filtration system, perhaps?
Yeah. Huh?
These are the
perhaps.
questions.
It could totally be a filter of some kind. Yeah.
There's actually 2 of them.
Oh, there's another one.
We should put that back in it, just in case it needs to be.
Okay. What's that?
So we have 4 of these. These are those things we saw kind of with the. Oh, are these? First of all, they're these little bits, but they're magnetized. Is this some sort of thing to help keep projects secured into the honeycomb tray?
Yeah, I don't know what
That's
that
what it
is.
seems like.
Oh, yes, yes,
bet
it's
they
right
are.
here. It's right here. It says honeycomb panel component. So it's listed on it's on this right here. So yeah, it's for the honeycomb
That's actually
panel.
really exciting. Can you hand me the panel?
Yes.
I mean, I suppose I should see how you use them before I actually do it. But no, we're gonna.
So this is the honeycomb panel.
So
Oh, it's magnetized.
yeah, is it just kind of to keep your? So you just kind of put your piece under there.
Right. So here's a piece of wood and plastic, which we wouldn't want to
So
use.
it comes
but-
with 4 of them, maybe. I don't know, maybe something to help hold it. I don't know. We'll have to play around with
We'll have
exactly how it works.
That doesn't seem quite right.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but yes,
That was just my
or
initial
maybe
thought.
it's for keeping it in here somehow, in some other way. Annette asks if it's a spacer.
It could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
Guess we're gonna find out. So those are there.
Okay.
And then here is the lubricant. Each of their machines have come with
Yep.
that.
So we've got that in each one of those. Though we don't quite know how to use it yet, but we do have that.
Here we have just a black tube. My guess is that this goes to the air assist
Yep.
module.
Okay, let's set it over here.
Speaking of which, I guess that's what this is here, I think.
That's got to be the air assist. Yes, that's the air assist set components. Oh, yeah, so the tubing goes with that. There's going to be a USB cable. Oh, these
through
are
here.
for the air assist.
In fact,
There we
there's
go.
one in the position right
Yep,
there.
so it's
they're
a
little filters.
It's a little filter for it.
So 2 replacement filters
Yes.
in addition to the one that's already installed,
Yes.
which is nice. I like extras. And there's a spot for that tube, the black hose to connect in there. And then this has an off, and these are probably just like the force settings, like how hard it's pushing or pulling
Right.
air,
Yeah,
whatever it's
probably.
intended is.
So the question is, which one would we use? This is actually kind of heavy.
And it has little suction cup feet on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, it
does.
doesn't. They're just
Oh, no. Yeah, they're just-
anti-vibration feet,
Okay, yeah, you can see it right
which
here.
is still nice. You don't want little fans vibrating off your desk for sure. So
Do you see any cables? Any like USB cables? Did you already take those out?
nope.
Okay.
I've not found any yet.
Okay.
Here's hoping, right?
So far, we haven't been missing. Oh, there's some more things in there.
Yes.
We haven't been missing anything yet.
There's lots of goodies in here. All right. We have,
That might be for the air assist. So a cable.
this is an interesting cable.
Yeah, that's an interesting cable.
What do they call this one?
Well, there's 2 different cables here. So there's actually a bunch of different ones. So there's those 2, and then
It's
there's
definitely
also
not that
there's
one.
also one for over here. So it might be over that one for the air assist.
Yes, it appears to go with the air assist. It's kind of, it's not a USB-C. It's not a USB. I'm not sure what that is. Be good to
Mr.
find-
Cable.
Mystery cable. But I think it goes with the air assist, and I think it's specifically set for that. So
Yeah.
1/2 of our
Our power.
power.
Yeah, 1/2 of our power. Set that over here.
here is a USB to USB-C cable.
That's that. Anything else in there? Oh, something in this.
No, here is the power. So this is
That's
going
the
to
laser
be,
module.
This is a 20-watt laser
Yes.
module there.
And remember the XTool S1 can also be purchased or upgraded to the 40-watt laser, but we have the 20-watt laser. That's loud. We're gonna take that away.
Yeah, so, well, we'll
gonna-
set it back on there to be careful with
Okay.
it. But yeah, so there's our module again. This is the, right here, this little cone. That is the laser aperture, so that's where the laser is being emitted from.
Yeah,
Some
cool.
sensors of some sort. And this is probably where the other end of that hose goes
The air
for the
assist
air
hose.
assist. Yeah. So we need to put that someplace safe.
Okay.
Don't want anything touching that.
All right, it's safe. Okay. And then there's this one in here. More cables. That's the power brick.
That's our power brick
adapter. Yep. All right, cool. And there's the inside of the enclosure. That's all it is right now.
Use the phone camera for that.
Yeah, let's switch it over and see how it looks, so you guys can see what's inside here. That's the inside.
Just a big empty space, but room for your honeycomb tray to go in there. There's, so here is another one of those tubes. So maybe this is what's going to the laser module, and then the other end of it is connecting somewhere else, maybe on the like on the rear of the machine, which would be cool. And then there's also the cables that we plug in that.
Right.
And then this here is what that laser module is riding on. So this is the thing that it is traversing with. So what do we have here? Remove this, remove the rear limit piece and this sticker before use.
Okay, let's follow the instructions.
Oh, okay, well, we can certainly do that.
All right, so, because it's got little graphics just like the last one did. All right, so the first step, it says, you see that? The first step is to open up the lid. I think that's what this says.
Hey, I succeeded.
Next step is to...
I think this is to remove what it says here.
Yeah, I'm thinking there's no text, so it's circling this something in the back corner.
So I think they're here. They're a lot smaller. Basically, it's like a shipping thing. Glowforge does this kind of too. They're just different, but it's keeping this from moving.
Oh, right, yeah,
transport.
okay. Can you point to it? Or I can try to put the
right
camera in there.
It's very dark. I don't know if you'd be able to see it.
Well, let's give it a try anyways. What the heck?
They look like little Allen screw kind of things. So
Okay.
toolbox.
All right. Yes. So let's put this.
I'm sure they would have given us a.
All right. So it's possible that the next page actually explains it. Yes, it does. Like if we had turned to the next page, it says, so everybody can see here. It says, actually. We're going to just follow these. So I'm going to hold this so that you can see it.
Toolbox. I need a little toolbox.
All right. Toolbox.
There's 2 screws in each of those little securing blocks.
Here's the toolbox. So you need the little screwdriver.
Yes. So this little screwdriver is actually like an Allen wrench.
Oh, it is. Okay. Here, want me to hold that, or you want to keep it over there? Linda says they have amazing packaging. I agree with that. I think it's pretty good. This is the unglamorous part of setting up anything.
No, it's
the
fun part.
Greg says it's the fun part. Not all machines are like this, though. I mean, the Cricut, we don't have to do anything like this. We just take it out of the box, plug it in. Sometimes there's a little packing, like foam, that we just pull out. Sometimes there's tape that we remove.
And the M1 wasn't like this either.
Nope, the M1 did not have anything. It had 4 screws, and they were to attach the exhaust pipe to the back of it. And that was it.
Those were thumb screws,
and they
too.
were, right, so it didn't even come with a little screwdriver because it didn't need one. The M1 is also marketed as a craft machine, whatever. I don't know. I think it was craft machine they called it. So they might have been trying to create something more user-friendly.
If only we had a motorized lights source. That's a lot easier.
That's a lot easier.
Just remove it now.
It's so much easier.
I'll probably put those back in.
Was there just one on there?
There's one on this side. There's 2 screws on this side, and there's another block on the other side.
Okay.
Which is what I'm going to do now. So.
All right. Yeah, so this little screwdriver we're using, it is a
DY
Life mini screwdriver. WowStick also makes one. We reviewed them earlier this month. The review is on our YouTube channel. Greg has had one for quite a while. He likes them so much he gave them as gifts to his friends this year. They're really, really useful.
I don't know if it says to keep these, but I'm going to do it anyway. Like sometimes, like if a machine has an issue.
Over there. He's keeping them all over there. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm going to put them in the tool. The little
oh, yeah, let's
box,
put them in a little toolbox. Okay.
You can put the screwdriver back in.
Yeah, I'm going to switch over to this one.
Sometimes, like if a machine has something really wrong with it, they might ask you to ship it back to them, and they might ask you to reinstall these little blocks.
Yeah, they might.
So I'll just.
It probably keeps this whole assembly stationary during shipping.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
All right, cool. What's the next step?
Because with that gone, this can now traverse forward.
Oh, well, let me show everybody. Bar moves now.
Yep.
And it couldn't move before.
Yes,
right.
It was restrained by those little rubber cubes. Yep. So now it's got back. It can go left and right, forward and back, basically.
Awesome. All right, what's our next step?
All right, so we've removed these. Oh, they show it pulling it forward, just like I did.
To make sure it moves. Okay. Oh, we did that. Ooh.
All right.
Step ahead. Mind your hand when moving it. There's a little, everyone see that? After my injury on the M1, I'm going to be super careful today. Very careful. See? Got the Band-Aid on.
So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be jumping straight into adding the laser module on there.
Okay.
Yep. And it looks really easy, actually.
All right. So
if you will give me the module.
Position this right here so we can watch. Yes, here is. This is the laser module.
And be mindful to not touch.
It didn't touch it.
I know. I'm just
but
saying.
Yes, we
it's
shouldn't.
Just a helpful reminder.
We shouldn't touch it.
Also, there's sensors and stuff on there that you wouldn't want to smudge on there. But what we're focusing on right now is actually these two. One of these is for the tube. I'm assuming this is for the air assist.
Yeah, I can get in there closer so we can see. Yep,
the
little tube. Yep.
It's just going to get
fit
over there. And then we're going to have this cable connector.
All right, awesome.
Satisfying little click. That's good.
Look at that crazy thing. Oh my goodness, wow. That's crazy. All right.
All right, it shows us orienting it like this.
And he's following the directions.
Yes, so
they're like over here, but he is doing that. So
there is a little peg on the back of this.
Uh-huh.
You can see it there.
Yep.
And there's a hole here. And so we're going to be feeding it through there. And it's going to be sitting on a little thing. We're going to be putting screws in here.
Okay.
2 screws in here to secure that into place, basically.
All right.
And this is, it moves up and down, which is what it's doing now. So it's actually in position. It just needs to be secured.
Excellent.
All right. So we need 2 M3 A2 screws. It looks like all the screws are the same, which would make this all very easy.
I see. Penny says, I need Jennifer Maker Band-Aids. That would be adorably cute. I'm not sure how I'd make them, but I bet I could figure it out if I gave it some thought. Kelly says they're sold out of the little screwdriver. They have so many of them on Amazon, though, so like just look for other mini screwdrivers that have good ratings. You'll probably find some others. All right, so you got the little screw.
Yep. Well, let's verify, right?
That you got the right screw. There's not that many of them.
Looks like they're all the same. All right.
Yeah, they do. It looks like there's 8 little screws in there.
I'm going to raise this up just so I can screw it in. Not overly tightening anything.
Yeah, don't overly tighten anything when you first
never do
this. Yeah,
yeah.
We have learned that. Just also good advice in general. You can always tighten things later if you need to.
Not until everything is in do you tighten stuff down. All right, so now these are installed.
Okay, excellent.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
All right. screws are in.
Sherry says, what's going on today? Is it another laser cutter? It is. This is the XTool S1. So with this one, we will have done all of the XTool diode cutters from the D1 to the M1 to today's S1. This is the flagship diode cutter from XTool. So this is the top of the line one. This is the 20 watt. You can also get a 40 watt. So it's a pretty powerful diode laser.
All right, so we didn't call this one out in like our manifest here.
Oh, yeah, what is it?
This here, this is the distance sensor.
Oh, right, yes.
So this is going to get mounted to the side. The other ones had like a leg that you had to fold down, and then you had to set the whole machine to adjust to the correct height.
Yes, the D1
right.
and the Fecta did.
Right.
They had a little fold down.
So this one, it seems like you're going to mount
Focusing.
to it. It's going to kind of come down and press on the material and adjust kind of its own height.
Which is awesome.
In theory.
So an upgrade from the other little...
Oh yeah, there's like some sort of...
So where does it install into?
It's going to be installing onto the side.
Oh, okay. Well, let's move this over here. Or not.
It couldn't be this easy, could it? It just magnetizes on there.
What? It's too easy.
It's too easy.
I don't trust it.
Let's see what it says.
Yeah,
So
let's just
there's two little
double check
holes.
the instruction.
There's two little holes.
There are two little holes there.
These are just, they're not for screws. They're just for, like, one's on the top, one's on the bottom.
Right.
And they're just marking positions for this.
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't seem like, it might just sit in place.
Seems like it does.
Certainly seems like it. Oh, look, it went up, and it's caused this little spike to put down.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And then it probably lowers it.
Is it sharp?
Until it touches something. It's not like
it's not gonna cut you.
I'm guessing this is what's going on, but it's like, so when it's in the upper position, it's gonna touch that and knock it down.
That's really cool.
And then when it goes to set itself on something height-wise, it's gonna go down, it's gonna hit it, and then that pin's gonna pop back up. That is my theory. So interesting.
All right, well, cool.
I love to speculate about how technology works. All right, so that is done. It is now
What's our next step?
for us to install the, what do they call it, smoke tube?
The smoke tube, the exhaust tube that makes that cool sound.
I know, it is. It really is the best.
Oh, okay.
All right, so this is, we're going to have to access the
back
end of this.
All right. Want to just turn the whole thing around?
I know, we should build this on like a big Lazy Susan, like in the future, like big things.
I know. Well, if we
might be
end
able
up
to get
doing
the
more
camera.
things like this, yeah, I can get the camera right here.
See, we're not too far off.
It's
Or are we? No, I think it might
that.
be over there.
Yeah, it is that over there.
Oh, also, look at this.
What is
What do you think
that?
that is?
I have no idea what that is.
sort
Big red button.
Don't press it.
Don't touch it.
Yeah.
Don't touch
Like,
it. Don't
yeah.
touch it.
Oh, this is a good opportunity here. So we've got a whole variety of things. So this is like our data cable to the computer. A key. This is interesting. I saw
There was
mention
a
of
key.
that.
Yep,
Yeah, and
it
I
was on
see
the
them
list.
in there. Our power. These are interesting. I guess they're for accessories or
Yeah, they probably are. Maybe
something.
like the rotary tool or something. And then there's the air assist buttons there. All right, so there is the
Yep, so we've got this
exhaust.
little thing here.
So this is similar to the exhaust on the M1. And we had to install the little frame on it. Do we have a little frame for this one?
In this case,
To hold the tube. Oh, it's actually integrated into
this part
it.
is coming out and then the tube is going in. I'm not sure why this is here. If you just replace it right out of the box, but
Sylvia says, as Ren and Stippy said, don't touch that red button. I never watched Ren and Stimpy. My dad really liked it, but I
It takes a type, I think.
yeah, like I have some very particular things I don't like to watch. Ren and Stimpy might be in that range. I'm not sure.
Jennifer doesn't do well with inane stuff.
It's
for sure.
Is Ren and Stimpy inane?
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's silly, right? It's like
I mean, also you're not like into gross humor, which is definitely what that
That's true.
kind of stuff is. All right, so that was removed. This is exposing the fan.
So were you supposed to remove it? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
According to the instructions.
Okay.
It's funny, is don't dismantle it, but definitely dismantle that part. Because this is going to be
Oh, well,
fitting
that's
on the
nice
end of
and
it.
easy.
Nice and easy.
Cool. I like easy. Laura says I wouldn't let my kids watch that. I don't do well with anything that's really, really silly or inane. I just get really frustrated and I'm like, why are they doing this? I am very straight. I'm very wholesome.
It has to make sense to Jennifer.
So that makes my sense of humor not as sophisticated. That's the truth. So I don't appreciate all types of humor.
No, I would say that makes your sense of humor more sophisticated because it has to be thoughtful.
No, because I think if I had a more sophisticated sense of humor, I could appreciate a wider range of humor. And I don't think I can.
I don't know if that is true. I don't know if that is true.
Well, see, I've got people on my side who don't like Ren. Did you ever watch Ren and Stimpy?
Oh, no.
Is that before your time?
Yeah, I didn't watch any of that stuff.
I
wouldn't say it was necessarily before my time, but it wasn't my kind of thing.
All right, cool. Got that on.
I actually, I did like cartoons and stuff like that, but my parents always watched like older shows. I watched a lot of this, and I also liked home renovation shows. So I was like, whatever, this old house, like
oh yeah, this
or I'd watch
that's
shows
awesome.
on hunting and all sorts of dumb things like that. I'm from Colorado, rural Colorado, so we didn't have a lot to do. So.
All right, next step.
Okay, so that is in. They say that you would extend this, but we're gonna wait until we get it turned around. I mean, I guess we could start the process.
We could start turning it around now.
So right now I'm just gonna kind of put this over here like
Okay.
this. The next thing will be to plug in our other cables.
Okay, so we can do that right here then.
So this is pretty cool. So if you look at this, I think that is the air assist. So the tube that we connected to the laser module itself. I think this is that connection port. So when we do the air assist, it's external, and the tube is going to go from the air assist to that, I think.
Interesting.
I'm not sure what this is. No flame symbol. I don't know. That glyph is... But
okay, so what cables? Power cables
or
something
else?
else?
We need both halves of the power cable. Yes.
All right, so there's the adapter, and then here's the cable.
Normally, you see like a kind of a printer or a computer connection for your power cable. This one is not that.
Three-prong.
It's a big round one, see?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
That's normal, yeah.
Yeah. So let's plug this end in here. Okay.
So it's going to go in there.
Okay. Yep.
Making sure it's in the off position. Might take the cord this way.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And then we can always bring it around.
I'm trying to set it up so that when we turn this, everything's in the right place.
Emailer says maybe the bottom one is for the fire extinguisher accessory.
Is that a thing?
Is that a thing? I don't remember reading about that. Maybe someone's pulling our leg.
They could be. Don't do that.
Don't do that with me. I will literally
there's so many
believe
accessories.
you. I am very gullible. I will just be like, okay.
All right, so I'm setting this back into its position. We might not need to see it until we go to look at the stuff on the back.
Okay.
So let's just double check here. This says
Emailer says it's a thing. All right. Then.
Oh, well.
It's a thing.
Interesting.
That's awesome.
I'm interested.
All right, so you're plugging it in?
Yes, it is indicated that I do so.
Okay. right?
The machine, the whole machine is off though. So
yeah, it's off. It's turned off.
But we have power. You can see it over there.
On the brick? Yep.
Above my bubble. Everything's just so messy when we unbox this stuff.
I know. I'm always trying to like, oh no, like straighten it all up so it looks nice.
I know. There's only so much you can
do.
do.
It is a losing battle for sure.
When Jennifer opens Christmas presents, the entire floor, it's just covered in stuff. It's funny.
It's like paper explosion.
All right. And it is showing. Oh, interesting.
Looks interesting.
So we're plugging it in.
Oh, Garen says the red button is the emergency stop button.
I do like that.
Thank you, Garen. Appreciate that.
All right, so we are inserting a key. And
what's the key look like?
It's like a little, it looks like a little flash drive, a little USB thing.
Here, you can show this camera over here.
Oh,
yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
It looks like
so
this.
This is the key. It even says XTool and has a little key symbol on the back. There's actually 2 of them.
So which?
Like, is this a security thing? Maybe
are they identical?
They certainly do. Maybe it's a spare. Like maybe the machine only operates when the key is inserted in the back. So you can take it. Or maybe it has nothing to do with that, and
we're just guessing,
making assumptions.
Yeah.
But it says we are supposed to plug one into the key slot on the back.
Okay.
So I'm going to let you do that.
Okay. I don't think I can get the camera back there very well. I don't think you'll be able to see anything. Oh, okay. Thank you. All right. So
down low.
There.
See it down there?
Yep. So yes, I see a little key symbol right here. There. Okay, it's in.
So, so we're off, so it doesn't matter here. So if that's the emergency stop, so that we want it, so you can push it in, like as the stop, I think. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, I see. You turn it and it pops out. You push it and it pops in. Yeah. Turn to pop out.
Okay.
So it
and
needs
which
to be
way?
in. This is, I think, the position it needs to be in. So you're setting it, I think, into a usable state, and if there's a problem, you pop it. Like that's, I think, the idea.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
So I'm going to have to hook up the hose, and it looks like we're moving into the software.
Okay, then
portion.
you work on the hose,
Yes.
and I'll explain what you're doing as you work on that.
Maybe all I'm going to be doing, and I'll probably turn off my mic so I don't make a bunch of noise, is we actually have an exhaust hose waiting off camera over there that's ventilating to the outside.
Yes, because normally you would want this to go out a window, right?
So this will go all the way out the front of our studio.
Yeah. So
if you happen to
safety.
be visiting and driving by today, you're going to get a whole like wood smelly thing going. Anyway, so we're just going to attach the 2 tubes together. So
with duct tape.
I will, whatever works.
Yeah. So I'll also move this over here so you can get to it. There you go. I'll set it right there. And you can grab it when you need it. So yeah, the exhaust is important for safety. So make sure you're venting your exhaust out a window or a door. They do sell like portable filters that you could use instead. We didn't buy one. That would have been useful to get, but I didn't think of that when I was shopping. Plus these are all kind of expensive. So I'm like, I'm just gonna get the basic model, right? Which is really common for all of us to want to do. And then not think about maybe I needed other things too. So if you are shopping for, I think anything that has that exhaust could use a filter. You don't even have to necessarily use the XTool filter. There's other like generic ones out there that you could get, but the XTool sells one too. So Greg's going to work on that now. And then our next step is going to be for the software. So XTool has its own software called XTool Creative. Let me get that right. I don't want to say it wrong. I'm checking my software right now. It's called XTool Creative Space, right? So it's free. It works on Mac, Windows, iOS, and Android. So desktop, laptop, mobile, which I think is really cool. You can download it right now and play around with it. So you can decide if, so I like to do that. I like to get the software in advance before I ever even get something so I can see how easy it is to use or get familiar with it. I did download the XTool Creative Space in advance, like just so I could just look at it. Not that I'm by any means an expert at it at all. I'm super new at it. But we do have it installed on the computer so that we're going to be able to do all the things today. And in fact, I can switch over to it right now so you can see what it looks like. So this is XTool Creative Space, and I have our project up that I want to do, which is today's Merry Maker Mingle project, the family ornament. And we've customized it to our family, but you know, we in the Merry Maker Mingle project, we teach you how to create this ornament. Now it's created in, we show you how to do it in Cricut Design Space in the tutorial, but the same things apply whether you're using Cricut Design Space or XTool Creative Space. You could use the same principles to create your ornament so that you understand. Or you could do what I did, because I just sort of cheated. I made it in Cricut Design Space, and then I took a screenshot of it with a blank background. I brought it into Adobe Illustrator, and I traced it. So you can do the same thing with Inkscape, which is free, right? So I like to do that when I've already designed something, just because it's just so much easier. So I will often do that. But you could certainly design this right in the software. There we go. So again, this is XTool Creative Space. So when we get to that step, what we're going to be doing is connecting it. So you can see up here that the last, like we've connected our XTool D1 Pro to this, but we haven't connected the XTool S1 yet. So we're going to be connecting that shortly, soon, I hope. And while Greg is working on the exhaust, I'm going to check for any questions that anybody has. What field trip to Jennifer's studio? You know, this is completely aside here, but somebody actually came by a couple weeks ago and took a selfie outside the building with our sign and then posted it on Facebook, which I thought was super cool. So cool, in fact, that we've decided that our new farm, that's kind of loud, isn't it? You know, we bought about 100 acres not far from here, and we're building a purpose-built studio on that property. Groundbreaking, I think, will be sometime in January. We're making great progress, but we've decided that the entrance to the farm will have an area where anybody can pull up to it. There's going to be a gate, because you know we are definitely private people who like security. So there's going to be a gate, but you're going to be able to pull up before the gate, and you can see the studio sitting there in the meadow surrounded by trees. It's going to be so cool. And you could take a photo. So, you know, if we're having an event and you're there, then you get to come in. But otherwise, you can still come by and visit and take a photo. And Greg is already talking about making some little stand-ups as photo ops, which I think would be super cool, actually. So,
also, we talked about, because we want to do a little bit of hobby farming out there.
We do.
And we talked about like a little farm stand or something like that.
Wouldn't that be cool? A farm stand with the sunflowers and pumpkins that we've grown, or crafty things sitting there.
I like the idea of like kind of like a, you know, pay what you want money can or
exactly,
whatever. You know?
Right?
So there's a lot of those like in the area of this property.
We have one right down the street from us, right? So whatever. I think it sounds like fun.
Yeah.
So that is our plan. So if you end up coming to Dexter, Michigan, driving through or whatever, you'll be able to stop and go to get a photo op. That's our plan.
Okay, so we are now properly ventilated to the outside. In fact,
Excellent.
You can probably hear it really whistling through there.
Well, that's loud.
Yeah.
Is that why you're trying to?
Yeah. So I just propped it up so that the airflow is going through there. That the machine is not on yet, for the record. That is my inline fan out in the other room pulling all the air.
Yeah. So you have maybe do you need to explain what that is?
It's just an inline fan, so it's just pulling air through a longer tube in the other room.
Yeah, because the tube is longer.
So if you hear the howling this machine is making right now, it's not the machine that's doing that. It's a huge inline fan that's pulling stuff. We use it for like our paint booth in the back. So
Kate says, how do you find time for all these projects?
You make the time.
You make the time. You make it a priority. So we're making this a priority because we want to teach you. We watched Lucy last night on Netflix. I don't know if it was a great movie. It was at least it was entertaining.
It was a movie.
Anyways, in the movie, they actually said something really fascinating. They talked about that the real goal of a multicellular organism is to pass on knowledge, not just to procreate. Procreating was for the purpose of passing knowledge on down. So I'm like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. So we're totally doing the thing that we are here to do, which is passing on knowledge. So that made me feel good because I love that. I love sharing what we know. So we make this a priority so we can learn things and teach them to you so that you can then do all those awesome things too. And then you will teach others. And this is how the world works.
Also, like, we're crazy busy right now. All I do is whine about how busy we are, like when I'm not here on the camera.
It's true.
Maybe I'll even whine a little bit on the camera.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
No, even though we're swamped as we usually are in December, like I'm still finding time to just like do projects. Like when we get home, like I will give myself, even if it's just 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Like it's something, and it actually makes a difference.
It does. It makes
you put in
30
30 minutes a day, for
it adds
a couple weeks, and it will add up very
and it
quickly.
makes a difference in how you feel and the sense that you have some control over your time too. So it is important to make time for the things that are important to you. Now, it may be that making things isn't important to you, and that's totally fine. But it is very important to us to be not even just necessarily be creative, but to make things. We love making things.
Yeah, like my space, like my hobby space at home, it's like messy. There's paint everywhere and little boxes and stuff like that I need to get rid of. So it's like just if I spend 15 minutes just cleaning up the area so that I could spend 15 minutes, arranging things and 15 minutes actually doing a thing, like that is so much more progress. You don't need like a block of 6 hours to lock yourself in a room to just. That's true, nice. I would love to have that, but we don't.
But you could do a lot of things with the time you have.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on. little digression. All right, so so it says the next step in the user guide says use software to operate the XTool S1. So it says that you can use the XTool Creative Space, which I told you about. You can also use software called Lightburn, which is like a third-party software. I imagine I haven't used it, but I imagine it's more powerful. It's also not free. There's a free trial, but you have to buy it. So we're going to use XTool Creative Space. All right. Next step says to turn on the XTool S1.
I'm all for that, but we also need to be mindful of whatever's going on with the air assist. It hasn't mentioned it.
It hasn't mentioned it.
I guess it's an optional thing, but it came in this box.
All right, well, let's move ahead and see if it explains it. Okay, well, it just goes out. It talks about turning it on, connecting it.
Like maybe it's not necessary.
Example projects.
Just like it wasn't necessary on our previous one.
Yeah, we had the air assist module for the Elegoo Effecta, and we never even installed it. So the air assist should make the laser more efficient. But
there's different. Yes, because they're either like pulling stuff away from the laser or blowing stuff out of the path of it.
Well, there is a section here. Do you want to install the air assist?
Do we want to do that? Because we haven't done any air assists on.
Maybe we don't have to. Maybe we just install it later. It's up to you. You decide.
It's not going to be hard, I don't think. It would be a good learning experience. I'm curious about it.
Okay.
All we should have to do is connect. I bet we're connecting one of those cables, the power.
I'm going to count how many pages there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages.
Yeah, but those are just pictures. Those are just pictures.
Okay, you want to do it? Go for it. Okay.
We're going to do it. I think it's useful.
Ria says do it.
Okay, this is cool. Look.
Jenna says it gives you cleaner cuts.
Okay. Well, I'm all about that. We can't.
I know.
We can't have a toy in here that we're not using. That's crazy. So
we need to switch to
maybe top down.
Top down.
So this is the air assist module there. There's the connection for the hose that we talked about and its power connection. And then it has settings. This is like the airflow basically. But I'm interested in this one, which is called auto. So in the instruction manual, it says the airflow is automatically adjusted by XCS. So this, when it's hooked in, it should on auto control all of that stuff itself.
Well, awesome.
That is cool. The Glowforge does not do that on its filter. Like it,
So what
it
do you have to
doesn't
do?
communicate.
Do you have to do something different? I
so
don't
here's
remember
what we
ever
gotta
doing
do.
anything with it. Whatever, it's fine.
All right, so I need the little tube.
There's a tube. You're probably gonna need one of these cables, so I'm just gonna start unwiring them now. I don't even know what we would call this. These little twisties, untwisty tying them now.
You're untwisty tying them.
Here's one.
I
You want me to switch to the other? Yeah, I can switch to this one.
If you want, we can, yeah. Anyone unfamiliar with these, come up there. See that? Whoop. This thing.
Yep.
These little connectors. They push down. So when you feed in a tube, it kind of presses it. So that's locked in there.
All right.
When you have finished untwisty tying that.
You want this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see, one end of this. Did we put the key in the back? You did,
Yes,
right?
I put the key in the back.
So this here, this is like a data cable, I think. This is, oh, wait. No, there's that special cable. That's what we need.
No, we don't want anyone to sell the timeshare.
Yeah, that is a time. That is actually a timeshare. Is there another cable? There should be. It has
here.
Yes, that's the one we need.
Okay.
This is that kind of cable that
We're using my phone for this camera right now, so my phone just started ringing, and it was a timeshare.
So that's in.
All right.
So I think the hose and this cable are going to go. They're going to attach to that.
Okay.
I don't know what this is. Oh, I guess that's the data cable, and then the power.
I gave you all the cables.
Oh, did
I
you?
had. Yeah.
Did you give me the power?
Is there a power cable? I don't know. I need more cables.
Oh, maybe it's deriving its
Power from. Does it say? What does it say to do?
Maybe it's. So we're connecting this. We're connecting this. I mean, this.
Oh my
does
gosh,
show it
Mrs.
as
Claus says, "Wow, you're still here."
Mrs.
Claus. We're very busy.
All right.
We're trying to set up the toys for Christmas.
It has us going through the filter. And I'm just double checking. Sometimes you get this stuff and there's like
little pieces of paper or something.
Yeah, like
make sure everything's.
Yeah, make sure everything's right.
Sherry says the air assist helps
good.
with less black on the cut. So like, yes, less scorching on the cuts, definitely.
Well, we want that.
It makes a big difference. Yeah. All right. Yeah. And that would be great to see how it does. We should have the project that we did 3 days ago on the M1 so we could compare the scorching on it. That would be useful.
Replace the filter. So it's calling this air assist. I'm kind of confused about that.
Maybe we have a different air assist. Maybe there's more than one.
Let's see. Include the air assist.
Figuring out.
Yeah, so apparently they're both called air assists. So.
Yeah, I think there's more than one.
Yeah, this actually looked like the one that came with the Effecta, kind of.
RGV Texas says, did the company who made this put a YouTube video out for setup? Oh yes, definitely. But it's not like this. It's very, very short. It glosses over a lot of things, and plus we just want to set it up with you. So, but yes, they all have videos.
So if you could control the camera down there.
There we go. Maybe we're coming in here from the back.
It's just so noisy.
Want me to go turn off the fan until we're using it? Would that be helpful?
We'll manage. We're gonna fix it. Okay. So this shows, I guess it's pulling power from the machine itself.
Oh, oops. I know I'm not showing that. There we go.
Well, we're looking over
I
here,
was looking in the wrong spot. You are right there. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, so we're plugging that into the back.
I can see
And
the
this
right
is
way.
the air assist that came with this model of XTool S1. It was in the box. It was part of the
There we go.
basic
Plugged it right
package that we got. So this is the one that I saw a comment about how this one was for the M1, but this is the one that came with our S1. We didn't buy it separate or anything like that.
And then this is the hose off that air assist.
Oh, it goes right in there.
Push it in there firmly.
Okay.
There's
Cool.
a hole, that larger one. We're not using that one. We are
That we
connecting this
think
one.
might be for the fire extinguisher.
Yeah, we're connecting this one to the
Yeah.
layer.
Okay.
So this is
Yeah,
the thing.
it goes to the top one.
The other thing we should do, since we're here, is it's going to have to
Oh yes. Plug
connect
it.
with
Okay.
the computer at some point. So we don't have to turn it again. If you look here,
Oh, yep. Sorry.
see the little picture of
of the little computer right there.
yeah. So we'll just go ahead and plug that in now. We know how these things work. Okay.
Okay.
So that is the power switch. When we say we're turning on the power,
That's what we'll be turning on.
That's what we'll be
after we get
turning
it
on.
into position. Yeah.
all right. So now we're going to push this back.
All right. Let's move all these things out of the way.
We'll see. This has a little. Oh, I see. So, like,
Here.
it can run off the machine's power.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, or you can plug it in independently.
Awesome. All right, so
So we should put this in the position we're going to use it. What do you think?
let's set this right over here.
Like
so
that,
we
maybe?
see that we've got it. Yep, that looks
Yeah.
good.
And we're going to keep this thing on an auto right now.
Okay.
So
I was putting it up here so that they could.
Oh, that's
because
fine.
otherwise they'll get
That's
covered
fine.
up. All right, so let's fix all of our cables so they're all going, and then we need to plug that into the.
Yes, I
the
think that will
USB
get
in.
plugged in. I don't know if we.
There we go. So it's not so loud. Kelly says, how much clearance is needed on the surrounding work table? It didn't say in the safety section, but it said to make sure that it was, clear around it, which ours is, right?
That being said, like any of these things that have like an exhaust tube like this,
Yeah, that's
I mean, they're
sticking
going
out.
to need like a good, like 6 inches minimum probably
Yeah.
to allow the tube to flex.
Yeah, and I think that you need to be cautious about that exhaust tube. If it bends too many times, it actually decreases how efficient it is. So you want it to be mostly straight or have, at most one or maybe two bends, but no more than that. So something to keep in mind.
We were also supposed to remove these stickers, I think.
Oh, really?
Yes, and this sticker.
Oh, okay, let's get a shot of that. So this sticker right here
We removed the blocks, but there's a sticker there that we were supposed to remove on
Okay.
both sides.
on both sides, okay.
Oh, and of course it left a goop there.
Adhesive residue, we could get some alcohol and get that off. All right, so remove your stickers.
There we go.
All right.
It'd
Should
probably
we put
be
the
fine,
honeycomb? I feel like we should put the
but-
honeycomb.
Yeah, I
tray
mean,
in here.
there isn't much to that really.
Yeah, there's still it might explain exactly how we use those little. Okay, use the X tool with the honeycomb pattern. There you go. This is the honeycomb panel, right? And it just goes in here like this. It doesn't have like a specific spot to go in. It just goes in. I'll show you in the overhead, right? So it's just sitting in there.
You get nice measurement guides on it.
Yeah,
it's
it's
in
cool.
inches and millimeters.
Yeah. So what else do we have to do? Anything? Or does it just sit in there and that's it?
I think it just sits in there.
All right. So we have the XTool S1 all assembled. Didn't really require too much assembly. Put in the laser module, which is mostly what we had to do.
Mm-hmm.
Attach the exhaust tube
And ran it outside.
and ran it outside. Got to be safe. We attached the air assist
Yes.
and we have put in the honeycomb panel.
Right. And the air assist was switched to auto, which apparently the software will handle for us.
All right, so now I believe we are ready for the software.
I think so too.
Step number 1, download and install XTool Creative Space, which we have already done. Here is XTool Creative Space. We already loaded a design into it. This is our family ornament design that we created for Merry Maker Mingle. If you want to learn how to make this design, by the way, you can go to this link I put on the screen here, jennifermaker.com/565. It will show you how to design it like this. There's even a free font that you can use with it. Okay, so we've got that. I'll put that away. Okay, we've got XTool Creative Space. Of course, we could use Lightburn instead, but that is not free software. Step number 2, turn on the XTool S1. We've done that already. We turned it on. And then we're going to follow the instructions on XTool Creative Space to connect the XTool S1. So here in Creative Space, over in the upper right corner, we have a Connect Device button. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. Now we have turned on the XTool and we have attached it through USB. It does work. You don't have to use USB with this. You can use, like Wi-Fi, but USB is more reliable, and so we've got our USB cable attached. So I'm going to go ahead and click Connect Device, and it's going to search for it, and it found it right here, which is awesome. All right, so switching the device will reset the parameters. Are you sure you want to switch it? Right, so because we've installed the D1 and the M1 before, we're now switching over to the S1. So I want to say okay. All right, so we've switched to the XTool S1 USB.
Oh, it makes me very nervous. We got hung up on the firmware update.
On the D1, yes, we had a lot of issues. But we learned things from that we could apply to this. All right, so new firmware version found. So yes, we definitely need to update this. When we didn't update it on the D1, it didn't work. So let's go ahead and click update and cross our fingers. Device disconnected. And so we should just be patient.
Oh, what? Progress?
It's working.
Yeah.
Yes. That's awesome.
So if it fails, it's going to fail at 99%. So.
And the laser module is moving right there. All right. It says 55%. Did it go backwards?
It's going up. No, it stopped at 50, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it worked.
It worked.
Awesome. All right. Click confirm. All right, so now we are ready to test and put it in. I'll hold that for you.
No, this one does not have that camera, right?
It does not have the camera now.
Which was nice, yeah.
I don't see any
Nope.
place for a camera.
I don't see one.
No, all the Glowforges have cameras. Interesting. And says turn on and follow the instructions to connect your S1. And then it says you can start your creation after connecting the XTool S1 to the software. For details about how to use the software to operate the XTool S1, visit support.xtool.com. When you go to support.xtool.com, this is what you see. And we have the XTool S1, so let's click on this. All right, so there's the unboxing. I presume there's probably a guide and a video in there. And here's the user guide. A quick guide on taking off the laser module. We don't want that. Getting started. Safety first. Meet the machine. All sorts of things here. What we need is a quick user guide. Example project. So this is what we followed for the J1. We just used our own project instead of theirs. So, because it started from the beginning, an XTool S1, your honeycomb panel, your computer, USB cable, a basswood sheet, and then the project case. So we have all these things.
I have seen a few comments about manually moving the laser module. Is that what you are supposed to do? Because normally once a machine is on, like this,
Yeah.
I don't.
And I want to make it really clear that we are showing you exactly what it is like to set this up. We haven't figured it out in advance, because would you have necessarily figured that out in advance? No. Maybe you have, maybe you've watched a bajillion videos, but most people, they buy something and then they follow the instructions to set it up. So you are watching the real process. Most people also don't have their friends in a chat telling them what to do. So we're kind of cheating in that regard. But all right, but looking at the tutorial, it says to connect it, which we have. We've connected this, place the material, place the honeycomb panel on the base plate, which we did. Move it to the right side of the inner side, which we did. And then place the A5 basswood sheet on the honeycomb panel. We have done all of that. And as you can see, our basswood is on the honeycomb panel. All right, next step, import the project file. We already have a project that we're going to do. We're going to do our own project, not theirs, so that's fine. But this explains how to open up files and all of that. All right, step 4, set the focus. Move the laser module to where the basswood sheet is placed. Ensure that the light spot falls on the surface of the basswood sheet. So it is currently, there's the light, and it is on the basswood sheet. But you can just move the laser module, it says.
It seems so strange to move this in all of the 3D printers and all the the machines that I've used that use stepper motors like this. You never manually move this.
It is really weird.
Seems
also, I'm sorry, this cost us $1,700. Why are we manually moving this thing?
So I mean, I can.
I'm just gonna say, why can't it move it itself?
If you got to move it, I guess you're moving it slow.
Whatever.
But
Fine.
It makes me nervous. I gotta say.
All right. So.
All right, where are we supposed to move it?
It says, let's go back to the page. It says, move the laser module to where the basswood sheet is placed. Ensure that the light spot falls on the surface of the basswood sheet.
Okay. Well, right now it's center.
Okay. All right. On the right side of XCS, so back in the software, click the button in the distance section. Then XTool S1 will automatically measure the distance.
Well, we've moved it. So
all right,
maybe
so
now
let's go back to, here we are in XCS, XTool Creative Space. And so here we are, right? They want us to do this?
Said to click the button, right?
Okay.
So this time
it's
look, you got a nice, that's cool. And there's a little test pad in that corner.
Yeah, that's what the Cricut does too. Okay.
All right.
So it probably didn't work before because it wasn't positioned correctly. The laser module was probably
or it thought it was off the material. Or
yes.
something.
Okay. So yay, progress.
Progress. God, that makes me nervous. It's like it's not like you got little handles to move it with.
I know,
it's just
weird.
like, here's a machine. Move
so
it with your hands. Like that's strange. It seems like the machine's capable of moving.
It should have
itself.
like a little thing like a little lever or something to move it.
What was it? Maybe it was the Defecta that had the little control panel that popped up. Remember, you could move it in the control panel.
Yeah. Oh no, it was the M1. The M1 had a little control panel so that to move your laser module in the software.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So so we've done all of this. Okay, step 5, mark the target processing area on the canvas. So number 1, on the right side of XCS, click Start Marking. Okay.
So we need to look at the software.
So here we are back in the software. So we want to click Start Marking now.
Right.
And then
we can see kind of where the laser or the cross has been moved.
Yep, we can see it. It's moved down to here.
So like, I don't know if it's going to be in the right place.
Well, that's the whole point of marking. Marking will tell us where it's going to cut so we can see, or engrave.
So let's mark it.
Okay. So I'm going to click Start Marking and then switch it over to the other camera. All right, I clicked it. Oh, I'm sorry. There's more I have to do. All right, it says select an area marking mode, move the laser module to the target points, and press the button on the device to mark the points. All right, so let's just choose rectangle because this is mostly a rectangular shape, and start marking. And then we'll have to push the button to it said. All right, press start marking. All
Mark
right.
2 points on different horizontal lines to form a rectangle. Okay.
It's so strange. It's almost like, okay,
It
so let's,
is strange.
it is. So let's switch over to here.
So do we need to...
Sorry. So we have to press this button to start the marking, I believe.
So do we move this to the top left point, and then we're going to move it to the top right?
Let's check the software again. Maybe? After we've already moved it? I mean, maybe that's what we do?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Possibly.
So
you can actually see the little cross on the software. See it moving there?
I do, but they're seeing the camera right now. So
I'm just saying. So like if I moved it up here.
It is moving it in the software, yes.
Also, I'm manually now moving it into the enclosure, which is very strange.
It is, I agree.
So like, this is like the kind of the top.
It seems, it's crazy that you're moving it by hand. Like, what if you reach in there and grab that like little
the distance center is there, so that is a thing that you might grab.
Right, so you have to be careful about where you're moving.
All right, so that is the top left corner there. So is there a way to mark the point?
Yeah, but you're too far. That little, I think that, or push the basswood and there we go. Okay. All right, so now we mark it. Or we watch it with
so
this.
maybe that
so we have
when
to
you
push
press it,
this
it will
button.
mark the first
yes.
one.
So let's press this button.
Press it. All right, so that's point 1.
Oh, and then it's going, wait.
And then we move it
What?
to the bottom right to mark the other corner.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Are you kidding me right now? Oops. Here we go. So we're moving it. Can you see that red dot moving on the screen there, which is going to get covered any second now? Okay, so we just moved it to the other one.
All right, so that's kind of the, so I guess you would press it again to mark point number 2.
All right, so we'll press it again, and it should.
That's your keyboard. You're not looking at anything.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm sorry.
All right.
This doesn't seem right to me. This
So
seems
in the software,
wrong.
it says point 1, point 2.
All right.
So I guess we'd go to end marking.
Okay, end marking. All right, so we've told it the upper left corner and the lower right corner of where our project is on.
Which it jives. Like you can see
does.
it's drawn a box over. I got
Right.
a little close at the top there, but
Oh, you did? It almost looks like it's cut off a little bit.
maybe
Should we
just
worry
a
about
little
that?
bit. I mean, it's at the very top. It's probably okay.
Okay.
So next to the mark processing area, there's
Yeah.
a little eyeball. What does that do?
Let's click it. Oh, it just brings us back to that same screen.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're done. All right, so going back to the tutorial. So we have marked the target processing area on the canvas. So we move the laser module to make the light spot fall at the upper left vertex of the target processing area. Press the button on the device to record the position, then repeat the same steps to record the bottom right vertex of the target processing area. So we've done all that. Then we click done. Okay, step 6, adjust and preview the actual processing area on the material. So number 1, select all of the elements on the canvas and drag them to the inside of the target processing area. All right, so back in our software, so we want to click and drag on our design and make sure it's all within. Let's actually make this a little bigger so we can see really well.
So yes.
Just gonna see if I can.
I think there was a pan. There's a hand tool down in the bottom left-hand corner there.
Where? I don't see it.
That one.
This one?
Just moused over it. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, it's too small, too far away for me to see very well. Okay, there we
All
go.
right, so I'm trying to align a vertex, which is again, this machine is designed to move. Why am I moving?
Oh,
it?
I'm supposed to move the design inside this. You're not supposed to be doing anything
am
right
I
now.
not? Well, it knows where the parts are.
Yes. Okay. So
I
I'm
see.
supposed to click.
Oh, so you're gonna. Oh, that's just
I have
the
to
pan.
switch to the pointer.
Yeah. Pointer.
Here we go. Right down here.
Oh, so you move it. To
I'm
where...
supposed to move it with inside this area that we marked. So
Okay.
I moved
Okay.
it down just a little bit because we were really close.
All right, that's okay. That's
All
not-
right. Okay, back on the tutorial. At the bottom right corner of the software, click the icon next to the framing button to set the framing speed. Okay, so back in the software.
Oh. Your window might be covering it up.
This window right here.
Yeah. And it was in the framing setting that you can move it mechanically, right?
Which one were we supposed to click?
Didn't it?
Let's go back and look at it again.
The framing
It says,
options, right?
click the
gear
icon.
That's not a gear. I mean,
I don't
it's
see
3
a
dots.
gear icon.
Is that
here.
it? Maybe down there is the framing. You see it?
Yeah.
So click on that. Yeah, that is the correct option.
Oh, so we couldn't have moved it here.
Yeah, strange.
So is this the gear icon right here? No, it's not. I'm confused now. I'm lost.
I think we have 3 dots instead of a gear, I think.
All right, I'm double checking that.
Maybe it's
I don't want to mess this up.
But that's the menu that pops up. So.
All right. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
This is the menu.
So
that pops
I don't know
up.
if it's because it's a Mac, it's showing it as 3 dots
Okay.
instead of a
All right.
cog.
So at the bottom right corner of the software, click the icon to set the framing speed, and then close the lid of the XTool S1, and then click framing in the software. Press the button to start framing. The laser spot will move along the boundary of the processing pattern on the material so that you can preview the processing area. Okay, got it. So back in our software. So again, we clicked right here in the corner. You see that? Yes, and I need to move my picture over. It's clearly blocking everything. There we go. All right. So it said to set the speed, but like, what would we set it to?
Did it show us the speed? The framing is where it draws the line around it, right?
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's just this
Yeah.
framing speed. We don't really care about that.
I don't think it's a big deal.
And what did it say? It said just to press the button on the front of the machine? Do the framing. I'm sorry. I know.
I didn't read it.
I know. Let's go back and read it again. Sorry. Okay, they want us to set the framing speed. I don't know why that's actually important.
Well, it's already set to that.
Right, okay.
So.
Close the lid and then click framing in the software and then press the button on the tool. Okay.
Okay, so
we close the
framing
lid.
Button.
And so we just need to click this framing button right here. This button right here.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'll switch to the other camera so we can watch it do its thing. All right.
And we
so
might
clicking
have
the
to-
button. All right. And then I need to click this button right down here. And then inside, you can see it draw the area where it's going to put our ornament. All right. All right, so we did that. Framing completed. All right, so our next step is, after you confirm that the processing area is proper, it is proper, click framing completed. So we've done all of that, so we're good. All right, step 7, start processing. On the bottom right corner of the software, click processing. All right, so back in the software, we have a process button. I'm going to bring this up a little bit so we can see it better. There it is. It's right here. This is the process button, so I'm going to go ahead and click it. You want to make sure this camera's set up?
Yeah, let's get the camera.
That looks pretty good to me.
I think that's okay.
Okay. All right, so ready to click it?
We're going to do it. All right.
We haven't actually messed anything up yet.
It's going to be fine.
We've done great so far, haven't we? I mean, yes, but we had to go back and check the instructions a couple times, but that's normal. All right, I'm clicking process, and it takes us to this screen. We've already done our framing, so we just click on start.
Oh, make sure the lid is closed
Yes,
all the way.
make sure the lid is closed all the way. So confirm. All right, so I'm going to do that again. We had it open slightly because of the sound. We
Yep.
were trying to minimize it, but we've got it. So that's important to know. If you open your lid or you move your unit or it tilts, it won't work. So
But that's a good thing.
it is a good
Yeah.
thing. It's one of the things that makes it a class 1 laser instead of like the Effecta, which was a class 4 laser. I think also the D1, I don't know what class it is, but that refers to how safe your laser is, okay? So,
Or dangerous.
or dangerous, right? All right, let's click on OK. And let's do process again and click start. All right, it says it's ready, and we're going to press the button at the start of the device to start processing.
And it reminds us not to leave the device unattended, which is always good advice with a laser.
Yes, so I'm going to switch over to this one so we can watch it. We want to see the laser module itself though, right? So maybe we lift this up a little bit more.
I think this has to maybe go up maybe a little bit. Something like this.
Yeah, that's good there.
So you can see our clock back there.
Yeah, well, that's okay. We can cover up the clock. Want to cover it up? We've done that before.
I'm going to use my clock adjusting tool here.
That is a gigantic clock adjusting tool. How about just a black piece of cardstock? I can get one. We don't need to watch that.
You can turn the clock away, actually.
Oh, okay. I'll do that.
Just twist it. That's good.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So it looks good. We're ready to do this?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to press that blue button on the front of the machine. I don't know if you can see that at all. It is right here. So that you know.
There's only one button, so.
All right, let's also fix this because that's just weird over there, hanging out in the middle of the screen. All right, I'm pressing it. Let's do it.
Well, it seems a lot faster.
Oh my gosh, it's totally a lot faster.
I mean, it's like twice as fast. Maybe even more. Probably.
Wow. Now I want to compare the speed, and we're not doing that today. Now it'd be really cool to put like the same design into all. How many lasers do we have now? 6 different laser cutting machines.
Do you feel that the air assist is doing anything right now? Like if you were to touch it, does it feel like it's running?
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh, good.
The air
It's very
assist is
quiet.
on. Yeah.
I gotta say, these are some very, assuming it's cutting all the way through, these are some very slick looking cuts.
Can we move it back because we are missing the bottom here, or put it down a little bit? There we go. So we can see the whole thing. This is always my favorite part. And it is so fast. Oh my goodness.
I don't know if it's as fast as the Glowforge, or the Pro.
We would have
which
to.
Which is blazing fast. But
yeah, it is really fast. It's also the Glowforge Pro is also a CO2 laser, not a diode laser. So it's a different kind.
Right. I think a more powerful laser can afford to be moving faster. In fact, it probably needs to avoid scorching the material.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that you generally, as you come up in machine strength, you're going to find faster speeds as a result.
Yeah. So there's questions about why don't we have to wear glasses. So this green plastic that you see on the lid, that is essentially the glass. Like that, instead of us having to put glasses on our faces, it is shielding it for us by having this colored lid. So it's already doing the light shielding that we need. The M1 had the same thing, but the D1 did not. So we had to wear safety glasses for that. Vicky says the other one took almost 16 minutes.
Yeah.
Vicky, you have an excellent memory. You are correct. This one, 2 minutes and 17 seconds is what the software says. It shows you right in the...
That's pretty wild.
It says it right here over on the screen, what it took. So that's really awesome. You see that right here? There's the time. All right, so...
Well, I gotta say, it looks like it scored. It doesn't look like it cut, but maybe it's a very fine...
Oh, you know something? Did we switch it to cut?
I don't know. I wasn't...
Yeah.
I
bet you we did not... Oh my goodness. I bet you we totally didn't do that. All right, let's go back to our software. Oh my goodness. Okay, so when you select your design, it's on score.
It's on score. I was going to say, that's a very sharp, precise cut. I was impressed.
Right here, I forgot to switch it to cut.
That's funny. But we could still just cut right over it.
Yes, let's just leave it in the exact spot and let's cut right over it.
Yeah.
Someone had this question, in fact, on the M1 when it didn't cut through the first time because we had chosen the wrong material. Someone asked if we could have just left it where it was and had done another cut. And I didn't get a chance to answer it, but yes, I believe that we could have. So we're going to not touch anything, and we're going to, now that it's on cut, we're going to do this again.
Yeah, as long as you don't move it, because once you've moved it, you know, it might not be exact. So
Right. So for the purposes of the edited video, make sure that you select your design and change it to cut before you do it. You can, of course, change your power and your speed. Now, when we did the M1, we changed our power to 80% and our speed to 3 or 4. I'm going to leave this at the default that it is choosing. We're not going to mess with this. If we have a problem, we'll come back here and change our power and speed. But let's just keep it as it is for now.
also, a lot of, like, when I do laser cuts, sometimes I will intentionally score stuff and then cut after the fact.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I just need to make sure things are lining up where I want
That's
them to
actually
be.
a really good tip, I think.
In fact, if you look at the can you do the
Yep.
phone camera?
Yep.
Like, if you look in here, it's not like it's affected it, you know, all that much.
Yeah,
See how fine those lines are?
Yeah, scoring is like
Yeah.
essentially like a fast engrave.
Yep.
It just barely burns the surface so that you can see. By the way, another tip is that if you're doing engraving and it's taking like a really long time, you can switch it to score and it goes faster. It may not be quite as detailed or as dark, but it can make a difference. Sometimes all you need is a score instead of an engrave. We haven't even really been talking about engraving, but that's because we're just play testing these. All right.
Engraving tends to take a while.
It does. That's why I'm not doing engraving in a live video.
So we're set to cut now.
All right, so we're on cut. We've got our power set to 100 and our speed to 10. We're gonna, should we frame it again?
We haven't moved it, so it should be fine.
I'm still gonna click it.
Sure.
All right, so to frame it, we would press the button. Do you think it's okay to go ahead and do that?
Framing it won't hurt anything.
All right, then we're gonna do it. We're gonna press the button on the front.
I mean, if it helps with peace of mind, then there you go.
Okay.
Seems fine.
Okay, it does. And then, okay, so in the software, framing is completed. All right, so now let's click on process. All right, so here is our ornament, and if we click start, it should start. We'll have to press the button on the front of the device, but that should work. Okay,
Lid
so
is closed.
the lid is
Click
closed.
process.
Right, so I'm gonna click start.
You know, I gotta say, the process period, like it goes really quick. Like on the Glowforge,
really
sometimes
fast.
you're waiting for like up to like 60 seconds for it to process it. So I'm not sure why it's so quick. But
I think it's
like
because
that.
Glowforge has to process on their
Yeah,
servers.
it's like a cloud solution.
Yeah, it's like a cloud processing, but I don't think the XTools is processing through the cloud. So that's probably why it's faster. So
Right.
that's significant. All right, I'm gonna press that button. Ready?
Let's do it. Let's see how fast it goes when it's actually cutting. Oh yes, you can hear the air module.
You can hear the air module.
So it is definitely adjusting, and we are getting some good cuts, I can already tell you. A couple pieces of the letter have already fallen through. Look, it's burning me. Ow. All right.
Right.
You'll understand when it gets to your name. That's definitely going through there. And again, the honeycomb is so much better than those
This
little
still
prisms.
does seem faster.
Oh yeah.
It does
for
still.
sure.
Just not as fast as it was before, but it definitely seems faster now. Crystal agrees. This looks faster, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And
Yeah.
we'll still have the time to compare. So when we're done. So. And I want to note that it's burning. We can totally tell that it's cutting because I see pieces falling away as we're doing it. Should I lower this? Because they can't really see underneath it. I'm going to try getting this a little bit lower so you can see what I'm talking about. You see how on the Alexa it's totally just burning that away? There we go. And the pieces are falling.
Maria Chapman is asking, what is the honeycomb? It's basically Well, it's a metal tray.
Yeah, you can
that's
see
the
it in
project
here.
that the wood is sitting on right now. You can see it. It kind of looks like a honeycomb
Let's
pattern.
into
It basically allows.
This part right here in the picture.
Yeah, you can.
That's
see it.
the honeycomb tray underneath it. So we've got our material resting on the honeycomb tray, and it elevates it.
It supports it from the underside.
Right.
It allows air to circulate around the project and allows the laser to go through it. So.
Oh, that reminds me. So I couldn't find the ornament from the M1. Do you happen to know where it wasn't back in the other room?
No. Didn't you bring it home?
No, that was the D1 that I brought home.
It might still be in there then. In the printer, maybe even.
No, it's not. I wonder if it's just around here somewhere.
I have not seen it.
Okay. I'm gonna look around here.
Guess we're gonna have to make some more.
Well, I wanted to compare the scorching.
Oh.
That's what I was looking for, it so that we could see.
Can I move this? Is it okay?
Yeah, you can move it.
Check this out. It's very exciting. I don't know if you can see it here. If you look through there, can you see it? Maybe not. You can actually see all the smoke that's being pulled out of that.
Oh yeah, because in the back there you can see it.
I'll give you a look under there.
Oh yeah.
All
there.
that smoke is being pulled towards. Well, you can't see it too much right now.
This is a cool view though.
It is a cool view. Look at that. Oh yeah, see, look at that. Look at that smoke. Getting pulled out and going out that exhaust thing. And that's why you need this thing to ventilate out a window.
Cindy asked, what file type does the XTool use? This is a SVG. So it uses other file types too, but we're using, so pretty much all of our SVGs work with the XTool Creative Space, which is really normal. SVG is a really awesome file type, so. Yeah, you can totally see that smoke over there.
Yep.
It is a lot of smoke.
I know. I was worried that maybe it caught fire. That does happen.
That's
rarely.
why you have to stay right with your machine while it's working. You should always have a fire extinguisher nearby. Now the S1 and I think most of them, they have flame detection in there, and they'll stop working if it detects a flame, but you should stay right here, pay attention, and have your fire extinguisher ready. We are burning away material with a laser beam, people. So this is how it works. Always stay with your stuff. Roxanne says, I bet it kind of smells like a fire pit in the room.
It does. Actually, I said it before. I do a lot of MDF cutting, and there's just something to it, like this kind of sweet wood smell. It's like my favorite thing. So
it actually smells good. It doesn't smell bad. So now it's doing the outside. Oh yeah, this is definitely going to be faster. It's going around the outside of the ornament right now, cutting it all out.
Yeah, we're almost at 5 minutes.
Yeah, the other ornament on the M1. Now the one on the M1, so the one on the D1 took about 16 minutes. The M1 was a totally different design, so we don't want to compare it to that. It's so cool though. I just love it. I just love the idea that the laser is just burning it away. So some material is removed. That's important to understand too.
5 minutes, 30 seconds.
5 minutes, 30 seconds. So definitely faster for sure. All right. So you're gonna adjust that camera, and then we're gonna open it up and take it out.
Yeah, which camera would you like to use for that?
Oh, I was just switching it. I know. I always get disoriented when I'm watching it. All right. Yeah, we can use this one. Go for it.
All right. Oh.
Wow, look at that. Hold the base, and then it'll stay in place.
Got it.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
There, that is always a good sign. You want to talk about like a satisfying feeling.
Oh my goodness, look at this.
And then give it the tap test.
Oh, yes, because there's one stuck on
Sometimes you can get in there.
A little E there.
Look at that. I think every
Wow.
single piece weeded too.
It's gorgeous. And so it's normal to have that little black on the side. Okay.
Look at
I
that.
see no
There is no scorching
on
on
the
that.
underside.
Maybe only the tiniest bit.
This looks amazing.
And this is
doesn't
again
it?
a cut over a score.
Yes, a cut over.
No,
a
that
square.
that did a beautiful job, and
did.
edges just kind of have a nice kind of dark color to them. Very well calibrated
Yeah.
cut. I'm quite pleased with that.
Yeah, so if you
actually.
compare this with the D1, the D1 didn't look this good.
No.
The D1 had a lot of scorching on it, so it took 3 times as long. It had scorching on the back, so scorching would mean that it sort of looks burned, right? There was even a little scorching on the front, as I recall. And it also required some weeding, a little bit of weeding.
Yes.
We had to poke out some pieces. And I think that with the S1, a little bit more material is removed, a stronger laser, so it's just going to do a better job in general. That's like just from comparing these two.
And we were talking about the advantages to the honeycomb tray. This is it. It's supported all of these little bits.
Yeah, so
right?
whereas with the M1 that had the prisms, they all kind of just fell in there and we had to reach in and
Right.
take them out. But this, we should be able to pull the honeycomb tray out.
Oh yeah, and all that
And-
stuff will come with it.
Oh, that's right. So,
Yep.
so that's a great reason to have a honeycomb tray, even if you have to purchase it separately.
That was really well done. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Really.
All right, so let's
Very
take that
impressed.
out. We'll switch to this camera, and then you can just pull out the honeycomb tray.
That is kind of like the kind of cut I would expect from the Glowforge Pro. To be
I
honest.
agree. Yeah. I
Delivered
agree.
by a much more affordable machine.
Yeah, this is 1/3 the cost of what our Glowforge Pro costs. But again,
you're still
Glowforge
gonna have
Pro
little
can
bits
cut
here.
clear acrylic, so I mean, it's not the same. We're comparing apples to oranges.
You still got this stuff.
Oh yeah, we still. Oh, some stuff fell through.
Yeah, some.
Yeah.
Well, because it's just a mesh tray.
Yeah.
Like the Glowforge is like there's a backer on it, and it's actually you're able to just tip it, and then all the parts slide out the bottom. But still, I would much rather have this than not have
This
it.
is still better than having to get all of it out, for sure. Well, this is awesome.
And reusable. I'm sure you could use this. Well, maybe the life expectancy of your laser.
I'm gonna stick this in here, so it doesn't make that sound.
Are we going to cut anything else? Because I could turn off the fan.
I don't think so. I think that Eleanor says, do you think that it scorched it less because it was scored first?
No.
And I agree,
If
I don't
anything,
think that it would.
more time with the laser on.
Right, more time with the laser would have caused more scorching. So
Yes.
I don't think that helped or anything. And then also, Adrian says, does this machine do engraving? It sure does. I mean, that scoring that we showed first was essentially engraving, but there's
But
also
engraving just the
an
edges,
actual engraving function too. And then there's another question about, is the honeycomb tray hot?
Nope. No, the lasers are very intense, but they're super focused on a fine point, and that heat it gets diffused and absorbed very quickly. So even when we did like the Fecta and other things, like when they're laser cutting directly onto a metal plate, you can immediately pull that plate out, put your hand on the underside of it, and it might be a little warm, but it is not hot.
Right. Okay. Can you engrave tumblers? So yes, if you there's like a rotary tool that you can buy. It's separate, although some of the bundles come with a rotary tool. And yes, you can use that to engrave tumblers, totally. I actually really want to try it. I just don't have the tool yet, so I need to buy the tool so that we can do that. Because wouldn't that be an amazing gift? Engraved, like gorgeous designs that you just put into a machine and it does the engraving. I don't know. Also, I really want to engrave my Stanley, and because I can't use the citrus strip on my Stanley. So yeah.
Like look at all these little pieces. Like they're so finely done. You could totally make like a puzzle on that. Like all the little puzzle pieces.
This would be a great way to make a puzzle. I agree.
Yeah, I wonder if you could Yeah, get some to design onto a material and then do your puzzle cut on top of it.
Jenna says we engraved Yetis. It worked amazing. Yeah, I really want to do that. I was actually thinking about, is there a way that I can get one in like the next 2 or 3 days so I can make some Christmas gifts, because Christmas is coming up in 6 days. I don't know. It might, on Amazon, stuff comes really fast. I might actually be able to get one. It would be an awesome gift. And I really want to try it, right? I really want to try it.
Linda Langford's asking if can you vacuum the small pieces out? You probably could if you had like a little mini shop vac or something like that. And then there's like a residue left over from the cut. It's just kind of this gunky brown sticky stuff that can be kind of cleaned up just with like some rubbing alcohol.
Yeah. So. Darlene says, do you think the little black box, the air assist, made a difference?
Well, we didn't try using it without it, but I'm going to hazard a guess and say that it did. Yeah.
We would have to do one with and one without.
It's completely hands-free. Like it took care of itself. The only thing you'd have to do is make sure that your filters are clean.
Right. So. And they did they gave us two extra filters. Now, we have no idea how fast we would go through these, but we do have some extras, so that's good.
Do we have our other ornaments?
No, that's what I'm saying. I can't find any of the other ones. We took one of them home and put it on our Christmas tree. So, but I don't. The
Would
one
you
that
like
we
me to
did.
Look?
Yeah, go look.
You want me to turn off the fan?
Yeah, go turn off the fan and go look for and I'll answer questions while you go look. Now look for the one that we did for the M1.
All right.
What is a Stanley? A Stanley is a tumbler that has the coating on it doesn't come off with citrus strip etching cream, stripping gel. So it's a popular tumbler, and I think it's got a powder coating on it, but I think it's different. There's something different about the coating. Anyways, I really wanted to try doing an etch on it, an engrave on it. I thought it would be cool. They're expensive though, so I don't want to just experiment. I want to like figure out how to do it and then put one of my Stanleys in there and then do an awesome monogram or something, and then look really cool, because when you engrave away the coating, it's all just stainless steel underneath, so it's really shiny and pretty. Are the ornaments on the tree on the cart? Oh, no, we didn't. I didn't put the tree on the cart, which is over there now. I didn't put the ornaments on that, but thank you. That was a good idea. Debbie says, I'm impressed on this one. That's awesome. So yes, it's like the Stanley thermos, but like they're like really trendy right now. If you go on Amazon and search for Stanley tumbler, you'll see what I'm talking about. Bobby says, how do you two get each other anything for the holidays? You have so many toys. I would think it would be very hard to buy for each other.
I managed just fine.
Greg is really, really good at buying stuff for me. And I mentioned this before, but I'm going to do it again though. So for the month of December, he has this thing that he calls Kissmas, where he gives me a gift every day from December 1st to December 25th. Yesterday's gift was a hot stone massage kit. But we had one before where you had to like warm up the stones in in hot water, and it was like a whole thing, and it was not very. This one, it came in like a little briefcase, and all you had to do was set the stones into this briefcase and plug it in, and it heated everything up for you. No messy water. It was amazing, and I got a massage last night, and it was the best thing. So Greg is very good at shopping. He knows the kinds of things that I like. I like all comfort and cozy things, like socks and blankets and stuff like that. And then all the nerdy things, like he's been giving me dice and things related to gaming. So no, we're okay. We're pretty good. We're pretty good at, plus we consider something like this to be a work gift, not so much a personal gift, right? So it's a little bit different. All right. There was a question about, I saw it and then I lost it again. I'm going to try to remember what it was. Whether we thought the honeycomb was better than the prisms. Yes, totally. I would take this honeycomb tray any day over those prisms where you have to place each one. Plus they're like really, they're kind of spaced far apart. Whereas this is just ready to go. You don't have to space them or worry about it or anything like that. Everyone is saying that you're awesome. You are awesome, Greg. Okay. Greg needs to do a YouTube video about gift giving. That would be totally up to him. You gonna do a YouTube video about gift giving?
About the act of giving gifts?
How you come up with ideas. Mary says, Greg is amazing. I agree with Crystal that he needs a cookbook for husbands.
Well, I don't know about that.
That's funny. All right. Oh my gosh. Okay. Maybe we should wrap up. Did I miss any big questions anyone has about this? Okay. Remember, this is the XTool S1, the basic kit that had the air assist and the honeycomb tray, but it didn't have the rotary tool in it. Doesn't have the risers or the pass-through or anything like that. But you can totally get it. We bought this for $1,700. The retail price is more like around $2,000. Then there's a 40-watt version. We have the 20-watt. There's a 40-watt version that its retail is $2,500. But like I saw it on sale just today on the XTool site for $2,100. I think they're having a Christmas special. If you want to find their site, it's at jennifermaker.com/xtool, and that's our affiliate link. And an affiliate link means that if you purchase through our link, that we earn like a small commission. It's not huge. You don't have to do that. You can buy any way you want. There's zero pressure to do anything like that. Sometimes it's useful to have that. I did see someone ask if I had a discount coupon. I don't, and I don't know if they even offer them, but I will certainly ask them. You never know, but probably they don't. But you never know.
Yeah, I mean, if XTool becomes a company that whose products we really like, I don't know. Maybe we'll reach out and see if we can work out some sort of arrangement with.
Well, they have actually reached out to us many times. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
We buy all of our own stuff. Everyone knows this, right? I never accept any sponsored stuff. They've been trying to send us stuff for years, actually.
Oh, never mind. I take it back.
Yeah, and I mean, it's no offense. I really like to have freedom and independence from the company when I decide how to buy it, what I want to buy, what it comes with, how we review it, because I need it to be authentic and genuine. So everything was bought on Amazon. This was completely unsponsored. I didn't say that about any of the others, but it's true. All of our stuff is like that. Even when a company, so like Glowforge, told us about the Aura coming out in advance, I had to sign a non-disclosure agreement. But I insisted on buying the Aura. They had to actually do special things just so I could send them money because I couldn't just buy it, right? So even when something comes out in advance, I buy it. If I can't buy it because there's just no mechanism for that, I give it away or I donate it to a makerspace. So. And then we just go buy our own. This is how Jennifer Maker works. Right. And this allows us to have a completely independent review without feeling like, oh, we have to please the company that gave it to us, or they're going to watch our video and critique it. We don't have to worry about that at all. We have no idea if XTool will ever see this video. This is between us and you without having that other company getting involved and telling us what we can and can't do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just, from the very beginning, it's just not been our policy to accept gifts.
Yes, nothing.
Especially not
or money.
If it's going to be.
Nobody can pay us to do a review like this too.
Right.
Yeah, and we don't do this to make money. We're doing this because we love these things, and you ask us questions all the time, and so we're like, hey, what new stuff can we play with and figure out and come up with projects for and teach to you?
It's just too much pressure to How do you get something for free, and then the pressure to convince people that but I assure you, the fact that they gave me,
they gave it to me for
$2,000 machine for free has not
impact
influenced me
no bias
at all. Yeah, exactly.
I have no idea if they even give tools away
don't
for you,
know.
but I suspect they do. And I'm not casting any shade on any of our fellow content creators who do this. We are in a position where we can afford to buy our tools. That is not true of many other content creators. So please don't think I'm saying anything at all about this whatsoever. I know many wonderful content creators who accept free equipment from the manufacturers because they couldn't do it otherwise. So it's totally fine. I just have chosen not to.
Yeah, it's our personal thing.
Yes, we are unusual. Yes. We are very unusual. And then I'm fine with that. I've actually been doing it this way for a long time. It's even before Jennifer Maker.
And we're able to do that because we have a good community that's grown the company. So like we are able to make those investments so you don't have to.
Exactly. That's right. Thank you for your support of Jennifer Maker. It really makes a difference in our ability to buy things like this and share them with you. So, which I think is really cool. All right. Well, that was the XTool S1. So, Greg, how do you think the XTool S1 compared to the M1 and the D1?
So the D1 we had firmware issues with, right?
We did. It took us like a half an hour to figure that out.
I mean, it was a nice presentation out of the.
We had to assemble it.
Yeah, we had a full assembly. So we started with the Fecta, and its assembly was hard, and there were things not right with it out of the box.
But the D1 was better than the Fecta.
Yeah, it wasn't that I was necessarily doing it wrong. It was just that the instructions were not really.
And there was something wrong with the belt.
Yeah, there was a part in there, and it was just kind of twisted, and I had to fix it. But we did get it together, and it was okay, but it was big and confusing, and it was hard to get it going. The
M1.
And it did okay, quality-wise.
It did okay.
Then moving into the M1, the assembly was a lot easier.
It was, because we literally took it out of the box, attached the exhaust port,
right,
and then follow the directions.
And then, yes. So
we
but
still
that
had
was the
an
firmware issue, right?
No, that was the D1 that had the firmware.
Okay.
The D1 had a firmware issue. The M1 didn't need new firmware, but we still had issues because we had selected the wrong material.
Yeah, it wasn't super clear. I mean, their software seems all right.
But I think there's definitely a learning curve to it. There's a lot of different settings, so you need to know what you're doing or following a tutorial that tells you step by step
and
what
so this
to
will
do.
be true of all the XTool. They're all using that same software, which seems...
I like the software,
It seems
though.
like you can do
It
a lot
seems
with
fine.
it.
Yeah.
But, and we dig into it, like, again, I'm coming from, like, the Glowforge side, which it certainly has pros and cons, also. But it is very user-friendly, I would say.
The Glowforge is very user-friendly. It is more user-friendly than the XTool is. I would say that for sure.
But,
more expensive.
That being said, you'll figure it out. Like, so then we went, so then the M1 was our...
The M1...
That was in the full enclosure.
Yep, it had a full enclosure. It had both a 10-watt laser module and a blade on it.
Did it have a blade?
The M1. It's got a blade. It had a blade on it because I have a Band-Aid to show.
Yeah, the blade, I hope you don't have to change very often because it's kind of in a weird position.
Yeah, it's like actually, unlike like with a Cricut cutting machine where you can't really very easily get your finger under the blade, at least I'm not able to. I was very easily able to get my finger under that blade when I was adjusting it, and then I accidentally cut myself.
She was not happy about that.
No.
I think it's a cool machine cosmetically. I really like it. It would look great sitting on a desk or whatever. I don't like I think it's cool as a multi-purpose machine. So I did like that. And then coming into the S1, well, this is my favorite of the bunch. I don't like how it looks, but I certainly like the setup, and I like how it cut. This to me feels worth for me, like, because when I tend to cut things, I don't just cut like an ornament, like I would cut like 200 of them or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So the speed would be important to me.
Yeah. So cool.
Like the framing stuff is a little weird, but that's frankly because I'm getting spoiled by like Cricut's software, which you don't do any framing. You have a camera.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the other point. You had that nice camera.
Not on the
on
the M1
on
had
the
a
M1
camera,
had a
and the
camera.
S1 has no camera.
Which
Yeah.
it's strange. It's
It is
kind of
kinda-
like I don't know. They're like they're like stepchildren, like machines.
Yeah, it's kind of-
they're using the same software, but they seem like they kind of have different.
Almost they're different. The M1 seems to me like it's supposed to be a contender or competitive with
Right.
the Glowforge Aura. So the XTool M1 is more similar to the Glowforge Aura, not identical in any way, right? But it's got the camera, the enclosure, a similar laser wattage. 6 watts on the Aura, 10 watts on the M1, so pretty close.
There's just like a lot of options with them, but they're like they had the open frame machine, just like the Fecta, right? The
When the D1, the open frame.
the
and the
D1 is an open frame, like
Right.
largely horizontal machine with no enclosure. And then we get into the
M1, which has the
It has an enclosure
and a camera.
and a camera. It has a actual physical cutting blade as well as its laser. And then we go into the S1,
S1.
which it's nice and big. It's like a
It's definitely
cutter,
got a larger
engraver.
working area.
It doesn't look anything like them.
No.
Even the color of all
know, right.
are different colors.
Yeah, it's like
it's so
black
disjointed.
and-
And then
Yeah, it
I
is
mean, this
weird.
one looks similar to their CO2 laser,
Mm-hmm.
but then they also have the F1, which is like a complete different shape.
Yes.
It's more of like a vertical thing that you set on top
And
of
that's
stuff.
just for laser engraving. It doesn't do cutting.
So they have this
I
whole
don't think it does.
crazy family of different, all these options in all different shapes and sizes,
Yeah.
which is cool. I guess you can find whatever you need, but you're gonna need to know what that is and how do they really compare. Like that's the question.
Right.
Yeah. It makes you want to just put all of our
Yes.
cutters out and run them like races. Like
I know, right?
The laser cutting Olympics here.
And of course, there's the XTool P2, which is a CO2 laser. All the ones that we've been talking about, those are diode lasers. So the XTool P tool is more comparable to the Glowforge Plus and the Glowforge Pro. And it starts at around roughly $4,000. I'm guessing. I'm not guessing. I'm remembering. I could be off a little bit. So it's definitely more money. We haven't unboxed any of the CO2 lasers live yet. But if we decide to evaluate those, because we have 2 Glowforge Pros already that we're very happy with. But
And
if
an
we
Aura.
decide, but that's a diode.
Yes, but it's a diode.
If we decide to unbox those, well, we'll need to like be really careful because they're really expensive. It's not like
They
you're
are.
buying like that. That would be quite an investment.
Yeah,
Yes.
if they
But
don't
we'd
seem
still do it
accessible,
for you. We'd
yeah,
still
if they
do it
don't
for
seem
you.
accessible because of price now, like the ceiling on laser cutters is very high.
Yes,
Like
it
so,
is.
basically, what's happening is that there's just a whole boom of laser cutters. Like Glowforge is doing their thing, obviously, but like their price points are high for some people. But they released the Aura, which comes down a little
Right.
bit. There's XTool, there's OhmTech.
There's a whole bunch that
there's
we never. Yes,
so many different
OhmTech,
companies.
Right.
So and it was
There's
like
some others too.
but
Thunder.
diode lasers, the laser pecker, laser pecker is the one. That's I don't know what company does that, or if that's
I
the
don't-
company maybe.
no
but
idea,
like
right?
there's so many out there. But like diode lasers are kind of like the entry lasers. But that being said, these are pretty impressive.
Right. These are really impressive
yeah.
for diode. Like I am impressed with the XTool diode lasers. I am.
And then you get like into CO2 lasers, and those are kind of like they are very powerful. Like if you want to chop through, an inch and a half of cutting board, like you can do it with a Glowforge
I know
Pro.
the other.
for sure.
So you were cutting 1-inch board, and it cut all the way through. You were so excited.
Oh, yeah.
You came down and you upstairs from our workshop and showed me. I remember.
Yeah, I was just chopping crazy thick stuff,
Yeah.
like just like hot
And that's the
knife through
CO2
butter.
laser.
Yes,
so
but it's a big
different
CO2,
laser. Yeah.
and they even go higher than that. There's fiber lasers and stuff like that on the high end. So this is kind of cool. We are touching the surface of like the laser, but the thing is, we probably won't delve
probably
too deep
won't go
into that because, like, oh yeah,
who can afford those?
Yeah.
Who has the room for them? Who has also the higher up you go, the less user friendly they are.
like
That's
the laser,
just the truth.
yeah, the one that I've had my eye on. Every time I see it, it's like $50,000, and it sits on a it's like 4 feet tall.
We're not getting that one.
She says that, but we've got this whole farm that we're gonna get, and there's gonna be so much room for tools. So
so much more room for toys and activities.
that's right. So much more room for
I
activities.
guess you just never know, right? Yeah.
But you know, it's on the commercial scale.
Yes.
These are so cool.
These
I'm
are
really
desktop.
impressed. I like
top,
this one.
yeah.
Honestly, if I had to pick any of them, I would go with this one.
You would?
Of the
So
ones
is
we've
this the
done.
one that you're going to take home and
I don't
put
know.
in
I
your
might
room?
take it home. We'll see. It's pretty big.
Yeah, it
right?
might not fit that
It's
well.
like the size of a Glowforge almost.
Almost. It's not quite as long,
Maybe
but it's
just
close.
a little shorter. But like if you didn't want to pay that higher price and it doesn't matter to you, like you're patient, you don't mind manually setting stuff. You don't need automatic focal heights and stuff like that. Like this is a cool thing. Like I
Roxanne wants to know if you have any 3D printers.
Yep, I do. In fact, I've had a lot.
How many do you have?
So
He has like 4 or 5 of them.
okay,
But then Alexa has one. I've got one sitting over there. I've got one I haven't unboxed. I thought about unboxing it live, but decided not to.
So for FDM printers, which are like the filaments, I guess I've had, let's say, right now I've got one in my room. Alexa's got one. There's one in the shop. I've had 3 previously. There's one over there. And there's one at the house that's unassembled, I guess. So we have like 7 or 8 of them.
But then he also has resin 3D
Yeah,
printers.
so those are like SLA printers, yeah.
So I think he has 3 of them. And then there's one that's sitting in a box on our couch. That's not open
yeah,
yet.
like 3
we
or
have a
more.
lot.
Yeah. There could be 3 is a number that I have of those.
People are asking about videos and if we'll teach them. Like it's like it takes time for us to get to create these things, but if we can, we will. Yes, what I'm doing is I'm trying to find tools that are accessible to more people, right? So I don't know how accessible this is, right? So
It's still expensive.
Right.
Even on sale, it's expensive.
So we are trying to find tools that you can get and are easy to use. So I don't think that's a 3D printer yet. Sorry. So I need the technology to get that a little further along before I'm probably going to teach that like on a regular basis. But, we might be able to do something like this where we sit here live and play with it and talk about it.
Jennifer White asked what my favorite 3D printer is. I'm a Prusa fanboy, actually. So
Prusa,
I've been using Prusa like Mark IIIs, and now I'm into the Mark IVs, and they are all wonderful.
Yeah, so we really like those. Yeah, so in fact, we did do one video together for the equivalent of Merry Maker Mingle. It was called the 25-Day Gift Away in 2020. And so if you go back to 2020's projects, we did a whole, where we brought out our 3D printer. Alexa was there with us. Alexa modeled a little reindeer, and we printed it live during that video. And that was on a Prusa printer. So
yeah, Prusa.
Prusa.
I'm not sure exactly. It's like I think it's a Czech company. So
yeah, we just say Prusa.
They're fantastic. They're expensive, but like you can get them as a kit if you want to have a lot of fun time learning how to assemble a 3D printer. But again, they come with gummy bears. But you can get them. You're close to $1,000, a little bit more on them for filament. But they're very nice. I like them. I'm very familiar with the software.
There's just so many things to show you and teach you. So we're not going anywhere. The whole purpose of getting our farm is to have more space to show you more things. So I'm hoping that we can do all of those things for you. So just that means you have to keep following us and keep watching us, all the things that we do.
Yeah, we have plans upon plans. Like there's things in the background you have no idea.
What are you talking about?
No, just like machines and stuff that we'd like to do.
Yes,
like
the 3D print, the 3D printer for building things.
Yeah, as soon as Jennifer learned that you can 3D print buildings, like she's
I want
been
that one.
hyper fixating on that.
I
like,
really
for the
want
farm.
a 3D printer that a 3D printer that will print buildings. I mean, it doesn't really print buildings. It's something else, but still really cool. All right, let's wrap up because we've been here for a while and everyone is ready for us to wrap up. Sound good?
I think so. I'm ready because we are.
All right,
yeah,
so the S1 is your favorite
yeah, just
of the three.
Just because of it, I mean, I like capability in my machine. I like power.
I love
like
how
speed. So
what a beautiful job.
I'm always going to get sold on it. But that being said, the smaller machine, I don't dislike them at all. It just, you know.
Yeah.
I'm in the fortunate position of having access to powerful machines, and I don't want to let go of that.
Right.
But for a person like entering this space, the XTools have been cool.
Mm-hmm.
I will admit.
I think that for me, it would be between the M1 and the S1. I like the camera on the M1. I don't have any need for the blade, so I would completely remove that personally. But I liked its size. I liked
enclosure.
Yeah, I like the
That's
enclosure.
a big
I
thing.
agree. I personally wouldn't feel comfortable with the D1. But the S1 or the M1 or the S1 is the two I pick.
The M.
M1. Yeah.
Yeah. There was like, it just kind of smoked up the studio.
It did.
A little bit, yeah.
It did. So its exhaust wasn't as good or something.
Well, it didn't even have like an actual exhaust port.
Yes, it did. The D1 you're thinking.
Oh, D1.
The D1,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, sorry. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
The M1 was fine. It's the
Like
D1,
at least
yeah.
the Effecta had like a filter on it.
Yeah, the D1 didn't have anything, so you really want to get the filter.
For me, I love the enclosure because I don't like that things can get in there. Yeah, I didn't like that they didn't have bottoms of those open frame ones.
I didn't like that either.
Like I didn't like that a cat can walk through a printer. Like that seems like
that's not a good
disaster.
Idea. Yeah.
Or your power cable could be in the path of the laser. You might not even.
Yeah. So
No.
if I were to recommend one, I would recommend an enclosed laser.
And if you can get an enclosure kit, because some of them have done that, you can even find like third-party things that sit over them to give you an enclosure.
Or you can make something yourself too.
So yeah, that's what I would say.
You can totally make things. All right. Well, those are the XTools, and we have done all three of them.
And they're very nice.
They're very nice. And I thought the documentation was good on them. The software is good. So overall, I like them. I don't know which laser tool we're going to end up with and teaching with. We're still exploring, so I guess you're going to have to stay tuned to find out. But eventually, we're probably going to pick one of these, and then all our tutorials will likely mostly show that one. So it's probably not going to be this big one because that's very difficult to show in a video. That right there is a thing. So yeah, cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me for all of these XTool videos.
Happy to be here playing with lasers.
It's been awesome. All right, so remember, if you want to see the exact XTool that we used and play tested today, it is at jennifermaker.com/XTool S1. And if you want to see the deals that XTool is having right now on their own products, you can go to jennifermaker.com/XTool. And I think that's it for today. So until tomorrow, this is Jennifer Maker and
Mr. Maker,
reminding you to craft a life you love.